I figured if anyone wanted to join live chat, we could talk about lolcows or what have you. Currently, right now, working on I'm working on it. I'm working on a doodle for the EDP action figure for his packaging art. So basically, he went to get his cupcake. So Freddy Fazbear, Chicha, Bonnie, and Foxy are putting him in a Freddy suit. So if anyone who's played Five Nights at Freddy's, you kind of know EDP's fate right there. So yeah, I was thinking about it, and I know there's a lot of similarities because I when I started getting to locales, I had started off with Chris Chan, um, and my favorite is Joseph Strickland. He's my favorite. I think he's the funniest. He's also kind of like the most innocent of them too, because most of them are pretty fucked up people. Um, but what I was gonna say is like the more I've gone into the Lauren lore, the more that happens to um happens to see Lauren happens to seem a lot like Christian. Hey, Evil Little McNuggets. Why is everybody simping for Glam Rock Freddy? He looks like a big dumb dog. You know, I'm not sure. Like, it's kind of funny. I mean, I think the design works, but it is kind of funny because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram drawing Freddy. I'm just like, bruh. Um, I never really knew people were drawing Five Nights at Freddy's porn before, but Roxanne Wolf has definitely picked up lot of steam with that, I guess. I'm waiting for when they put Security Breach on Xbox or Switch because I prefer playing on those, and I can't get PS5 anyways. I think they have it on the four, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan. But yeah, they're gonna give EDP. They're gonna give him his cupcake right now, putting him in the Freddy Fazbear suit. Um, you see, I'm gonna send a link to the Discord. So so yeah, there's that. No, but that's good money. I've been thinking about drawing SB form. You might as well do it. Um, it's I guess do whatever will get you the fucking paper. You know, I've I never really drew like cartoon stuff before. I mean I did, but as you draw more realistic or more like comic book type stuff. But lately, a lot of people have been commissioning me to draw some really weird shit. But whatever gets me business. It's kind of how I see it. Um, but yeah, you really should try to do the Five Nights at Freddy's thing. It's got a good thing going. What's up, Greer's evil twin Ilrig? um, oh Lord, you gotta make sure to get them double cheeseburgers, no pickles. I will say he had good taste because pickles fucking suck. That shit's so damn nasty. I don't know how anyone eats it. But yeah, that's one thing Lee Greer did right. Lee Greer reminds me a lot of he reminds me a lot of Tom Anderson from Beavis and Butthead. Like he straight up looks like he's out of he's like a King of the Hill character. Like I laugh every time I see his segment. Oh Lord. Evil Old McNuggets. I'm broke college student. My bank account is in the single digits. That is pretty relatable. I remember when I was in school, I had to quit because I couldn't afford to do it anymore. I had to pay out my own pocket, and that shit was terrible. I was working I was working like 50 hours a week, going to school full time, and it just wasn't worth it. They kept changing the requirements to graduate, so I'm just fucking around here with this Freddy Fazbear. Um, I'm gonna have to vehemently disagree with that statement, though. Like that and mayonnaise, I cannot fucking stand. Like I won't eat anything that's got that on it. And I'm fairly open minded, but when it comes to anything like that, that's a hard no. Um, so yeah, I just noticed Lauren is a lot like fucking Chris Chan. And before I used before at least I could say that Lauren was a worse person than Chris Chan, but now I think Chris Chan's actually worse than Lauren. Um, because I mean he's a fucking sex offender and he's an attempted murderer and so much other shit that Chris has done over the years that's beyond fucked up and hasn't taken any accountability for. Um, but the similarities are just astounding because it's like, they're both fucking like they both have like the emotional intelligence of a toddler. Oh, yes, okay, so I'll answer both those questions. For the attempted murder, Evil Lord McNuggets, Chris Chan had twice tried to run over Michael Snyder with his car. The second time he was successful, and Michael Snyder got seriously injured, and he wound up losing. He the worst part was Michael Snyder was actually merciful towards him, because he could have basically put him in prison for a felony and gotten a lot more, but he decided to just pay for my hospital bills, and that wound up costing most of Chris Chan's inheritance. So yeah, that's what happened. He basically because he's always stalking and harassing Michael Snyder. He just decided to run him over with his car, and that's what happened in that situation. So Il Rig, basically Chris Chan is um a man baby to put it lightly. He never grew up. I mean, his dad tried to discipline him a bit. Like his dad wanted him to be responsible, but his parents were very elderly. um his mom is more of an enabler. uh it's a hard thing to it's a hard thing, but basically, like, what happened with Chris Chan is he made this really, like, bad comic book called, Sonichu, which is, he combined Pikachu and Sonic together, and it's like it's, it's very bad, like, the first issue, um, after the first issue, it wound up being a self-insert for Chris, and he's just telling the story of his life, like, he's getting in fights with mall cops and stuff because he's, like, he was just, like, loitering at the mall and, harassing girls. He's like, "I'm looking for a boyfriend-free girl. So hard to find." And, um oh, didn't she just baby the shit out of him because he's autistic? And yes, Barb Barb babied him a lot because he's autistic. Um, that's that's part of it. And unfortunately, I don't know if you guys know what he did to his mother recently, but Chris Chan raped his demented mother. Like she's like seriously out there. She barely looks like she's alive. And apparently she would forget every few days what happened, and he'd just keep repeating that shit over and over. And he's so fucking remorseless. He's proud of what he's done. They like get like his prison letters. He's proud of it. He's trying to say he's Jesus Christ reincarnated and shit like that. And that he's cleansing her of her sins. Like, it's really fucking disgusting. It's absolutely horrible what he did to his mother. Um, and it's even worse to think about because she's like extremely defenseless, and he just kept doing it over and over, nonstop. But before that happened, like he basically made the comic book about his real life. People on the internet found him. They started trolling him a bit. And sometimes people like went far with the trolling, and kind of thing with Chris is that hello, Amir, how you doing? Um, Kind of what happened with Chris is when he started, he was known for being very homophobic or whatever. Like he's like, I hate the homos and stuff like that, right? And so people trolled him for it and kept saying he was gay and like drawing gay porn of him and um drawing his female characters with dicks and stuff like that. And he's like, Rose True does not have a pickle and stuff like that. So that's how it started off. I mean, it started off kind of like innocent enough. That's like Chris Chan as least horrible. Um, but things just got worse over time. Like, basically, once his dad died, his dad was like the only structure he had in his life. He's the only one that like held him to any sort of responsibility. His dad was the one to try to get him off the internet because he realized people were fucking with him real bad on the internet, and that he's somebody that shouldn't be on there. Um, but yeah, so there's that going on, and with Chris, he had those issues going on. His dad, his dad tried to fix his finances and stuff because basically Chris gets paid welfare for being handicapped. And so he would like to spend all his money on toys and everything. And his dad tried to like tell him to get like a job and stuff like that. Because his dad was like in his 80s. And he's like, I'm not gonna be around to take care of you forever, dude. Like you gotta learn to take care of yourself. Oh, I agree. They should have thrown his computer away. um, but basically, once his dad died, he just went like off the deep end, and fucking Chris Chan, he came up with this scheme, because it's something that happened over time, because a lot of people want to defend him over pronouns and shit like that. Chris said it himself. It's just like a Looney Tunes scheme that if I call myself a male lesbian, then lesbians will want to have sex with me. So the lesbians who don't like are not interested in men or penises and stuff like that. They're really gonna go after the guy who looks like fucking Benjamin Franklin. So fucking Chris started saying he's a male lesbian, and mind you, he still hates gay people and stuff, but he's a fucking coomer, and he's addicted to lesbian porn and stuff. So he's always trying to act like so that's where all that stuff started. um and from there, people, I mean, he got basically whatever happens with the trolls is like, so if you try to tell Chris Chan sound advice, like tell him get a job, work out, take a shower, stuff like that, like things that would make his life better, he's not going to listen to you. Now, if you tell him stupid shit that will make his life worse, he will believe it wholeheartedly. Like people would tell him shit like, people told him some anime shit like he's some goddess from some fucking weeb. I think it's called like Neptunia shit or whatever. I can't remember, but he thinks basically, I guess the premise of the anime is that there's like a goddess for each console, like the Xbox, the Dreamcast, PlayStation, whatever Nintendo, because there's so many different Nintendos. And Chris got to the thing with Chris got to the thing with they told him he's the CPU goddess of the Commodore 64. So now he thinks he's some god, and he keeps talking about the dimensional merge and evil McNuggets. I've heard so many things about Christine, and the pronouns I want used. It's really confusing. And there are times I have no problem with respecting pronouns, but it's confusing with Chris. Okay, so Chris, like I said before, Chris was like, I hate the homos and stuff like that, right? And he kept saying, I'm straight. Stop calling me gay. I'm straight. And then he started saying, well, I'm a lesbian. I'm a male lesbian. So he started saying he's a male lesbian. And then eventually kind of and now because everyone's like, oh, call Chris by the pronouns they wish to be called and stuff. I'm like, first off, he's a fucking rapist, so no, I'm not gonna respect a fucking rapist in any way, shape, or form. So I don't care about that. But Chris on like they're saying, oh, call him this and that, but he larps, okay? So like now Chris is saying that he's Jesus Christ reincarnated. Chris is going back to using male pronouns again. He's talking about growing his beard out and stuff like that. So, but everything to Chris is a game. Like before Chris tried to say he was a Native American, and he went around wearing feathers and paint, and people told him, you're not fucking Native American, cut the shit out. So he stopped. And then Chris started saying he's a Mexican, started calling himself Ricardo. He started I don't know if he started wearing like a sombrero and stuff, but he started calling himself Ricardo, and people are like, you're not fucking Mexican, cut it out. And then he started saying he's black. He had blackface on at one point. People told him, you're not black. Like, he's done this many times before. And like Chris has liked cross-dressing before. I guess somebody saw him cross-dressing and said, oh, you must be trans. And so he just kind of like ran with it for a while. But like I said, he doesn't really know the meanings of the words. Like his comprehension of everything is at like fucking childlike levels. He thinks like whereas Lorne has fucking Hallmark brain, um Chris has a Marvel Comics brain. He thinks everything is like some superhero team up. Right now, Chris is saying that he's Jesus Christ reincarnated. And he's saying he's also like the Prophet Muhammad. And he's like reading the Bible and the Quran in jail. And he's like, yeah, the Bible's like Simpsons, and the Quran is like Family Guy. So that's what he thinks of religion. And he kind of thinks like obviously if you read the Bible and stuff, it says you won't have idols, there's only one God, stuff like that. And Chris thinks that there's like a council of gods, and that they're basically like the super best friends from South Park, and like Jesus is gonna team up with Muhammad and Shiva and Buddha, and that's his idea for it. So this guy is just really, he's just really childlike in everything he does. Let's let's see. Well, I mean, it's not really that though. Like Chris, I see what you're saying about the pronouns thing, but like Chris is like he can't even fucking decide anything. Like everything for Chris is just everything for Chris is just like a game. Um and he's a fucking rapist. He's a sex offender. Chris also had Chris also has basically this probably would have happened sooner rather than later, but because Chris basically anytime he gets close to any woman, he tries to get like fill her up. And Chris has actually stated before that he had like an interest in children. I mean, like in his comics and shit, like he has these the female characters go on they go on some like women's rights march that involves being naked and shooting naked shoots and stuff. And there's like a underage teenage girl is like 13 or something, and she's like, I want to do it. And they're like, oh well, you can't do it because of stupid laws and stuff like that. It's like, bro, it's really stupid laws, are you serious, Chris? And so they have the teenage girl basically be the cameraman and film all the porn of the female Sonic shoes. Like this is like the type of shit Chris does. Yes, Amir. It is shitty fan fiction. Everything with Chris is a shitty fan fiction. Um, Everything with him is some Sonic type of ripoff. I mean, it is pretty funny some of the shit he got trolled into believing. Like someone told him that what's his name, Ted Bundy, was actually innocent of what he did and was framed for it. So he believes Ted Bundy is innocent of what he's done and that he is framed. And he made Ted Bundy a fucking Sonichu. So there's Bundy Chew. Bundy Chew is a real fucking character. And yes, Chris Chan is CMAT. Actually, now that you remind me, Leaguer, one of the things Chris Chan is famous for is recycling his own nut. Um, he was under the impression that he has a finite amount of semen, and so he was trolled into believing that because he's obsessed with jerking off to prawn all the time, that he would run out of semen before he could find a boyfriend-free girl to bear his idiot children. so fucking Chris Chan would nut into a cup of Fanta and would drink. So that's like a meme when if you ever see Fanta with Chris Chan, that's what it's about. He would nut into a cup full of Fanta and would drink the Fanta full of splooge and fucking recycle his own nut. Did he reuse condoms like someone else we know? I think Chris prefers it raw, no rubber. He likes to he just likes to fucking nut into his Fanta and drink it. I don't know if he's ever even worn a condom before. I remember there's a couple stories because Chris Chan did lose his virginity back in like 2012 because he bought a prostitute a couple times, and he made up his he tried to make it sound better than what it was. The lady quit after having sex with Chris, so it's gotta be fucking atrocious. And this is before he had the Benjamin Franklin look, so I can't even imagine how much worse it'd be now. But Chris basically ended this woman's career. and one of the things Chris is famous for is fucking a blow-up doll. And he's going, Julie! He's fucking the doll. I think one time his dad walks in. Yes, it is Orange Fanta, McNuggets. It is Orange Fanta. He made his own creamsicles. You are 100% right. You are 100% right with that. He made his own creamsicles. So, yeah, there is that. Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. I think I'm gonna sketch something else right now. Just since we're talking about Chris Chan, I just kind of have like a need to draw Chris for the time being. EDP will have to wait. He'll have to wait on his cupcake. Unfortunately. Let me check the chat again. Yeah. So. Yeah, Chris is notorious for that. There's so much shit that guy's done though. Like it's that's the thing. Like Lauren would be on Chris Chan's level if it wasn't for all the gatekeeping that happened, because people have tried to gatekeep Chris before, keep him as their own personal lolcow, but the other trolls like went after them and fucked with them pretty bad, so they want to do it. Because Chris Chan is the people's lolcow. So there is that. I will say the biggest similarity with all these lolcows to me is what should probably be known as the 8th deadly sin, and the 8th deadly sin to me is simping. Chris Chan, Lauren, EDP, Supreme Gentleman, like all these fools that pop up have done the great crime of simping. I mean, look at Lauren. It's like, I believe in us, I believe in you, and stuff like that. like the fucking fake internet girlfriend you never seen before. They all have the same voice. It's all the same person playing different characters. But then you're going to be like, I believe in us. I believe in you. God. The knowledge of nut Fanta will weigh heavily on the soul for my rest of my life. Yeah. Fucking nut Fanta. You know, it is something. Oh yeah, that's a good point, McNuggets. Ben Franklin, for I don't know, maybe Ben Franklin was packing heat or something because Ben Franklin was getting poon back in the day. Um, and as far as I know, he didn't pay for it like Chris does. Um, you want to know what's even worse about this whole debacle with Chris and his mom is there was a girl that was actually interested in Chris Champ for whatever fucking reason, and wasn't bad looking or anything. And I guess she's slightly autistic, like I mean less than he is by far, but because she had slight autism or whatever, she wasn't good enough for him. And because he's already raping his mom, he thought like, well, I don't want to be cheating on mother dear. Like, you know how fucked up this shit is. Um, he wrote a letter to a young man detailing how it's better to cheat on his wife with MILFs. Ah, was that I don't think I've heard about that letter. But it is funny. I kind of stopped listening to the Chris letters because I was tired from saying, I'm Jesus. I'm Jesus reincarnated. um, that shit's just like really it's like the same shit every time. So it's just really fucking boring. Um, it's really fucking boring to hear him say that shit all the time. So I haven't kept up with it too much, to be honest. Um, I kind of dropped Chris for a while and just started like oh, you're talking about Ben Franklin. Okay, because I about to say I haven't heard anything about that from Chris. Okay, you know what? I'll give props. I'll give props to Ben Franklin on that. I love milfs. Like you cannot go wrong with a good milf. Um, old horny Lorny here though. He liked Kayla. It's weird to think I'm Kayla's age. Like when this shit happened, I was Kayla's age, and I mean, I wasn't anywhere near as stupid as fucking Kayla. That's for sure. Like fucking Kayla had the mind of like a 2-year-old baby, dude. Like that shit was bad. But it's crazy. I'm just kind of like I'm happy that I'm kind of happy that my parents never had us on the internet when we were kids. My sister and I. I mean, they're paranoid that my sister and I would just be like trying to find a shit ton of porn or whatever, and that's why we never had internet as kids. I didn't have that shit till like I was a senior in high school, but I'm kind of glad because I didn't have to fucking have like some fucking creep like I don't know Chuck Harding or a Palumbo trying to like hit on me or some shit. Were you a precious little princess? I think we're all precious little princess in the eyes of Claude and in the eyes of in the eyes of Lord Armstrong. All precious little princesses that he simps for. Yeah, weren't we all, Amir? And McNuggets is still a precious little princess. Don't forget it. Still a precious little princess. Look at Lauren. He's gonna give you a smile for that. Rose. um shit, so you know what? Let's add Cyrax here. I'm gonna add the son of Lauren. I know a lot of people think Lauren is a virgin, but I think Cyrax is the biggest proof. Zawa radiate from I'm not sure what that is. Okay, care to explain? I think Cyrax Chance Wilkins is the biggest proof that Lauren is not a virgin. I know a lot of people keep perpetuating that myth, but I think young Lauren got it in at one time. Okay, I'm not saying it was good. It was probably really really bad, but I think he found like some drunk hillbilly, some hills have eyes type shit, and put his nut in her with Mr. Penis. And then we got Cyrax Chance Wilkins, the son of Lord. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Of course, don't ever think you're not. If you ever leave the chat, it's because I got booted. Okay, I would never stop talking to you. Facts, facts there, Lee Greer. That's a very accurate analysis. And yes, Evil Old McNuggets. I have heard about Carol the Wolf from not Darkwing, Deadwing Dork, and that's fucking tongue twister, and Cecil McFly. Because I heard him talking about those like sick, disgusting fucking zoo files. and and it's like yeah, it's really fucking gross. I heard about Stingy and Snake Thing and then Carol the Wolf, and they're just like real fucking bad. Uh so those people are just like sick fucking bastards. Like, I mean, there's layers to this. All of them are fucking sick bastards, Lauren and stuff. But there's layers to it. Some people are just like objectively more evil, and this type of shit is just like terrifying. I subscribe to the kelp pill theory of virginity. Essentially, not even Lauren knows if you had sex or not. I would agree with that. Like, Lauren makes up so many fucking lies, and he believes all the fucking lies he says. He's such a drunkard that he's such a fucking drunkard that I don't think he remembers like most of his damn life. If we're gonna be honest, like he doesn't remember anything like in any sort of like real detail. I mean, he remembers shit, but I mean, like, there's plenty of stuff that he's just like incompetent for. And then he's gonna bitch about Roy being a drunk. I feel bad for Roy. Like, I don't blame. I mean, the drunk driving is bad, but I don't blame Roy for drinking because he has to fucking deal with Lauren's dumbass. If I had to live with Lauren, dude, I think I'd be doing like fucking cocaine or some shit. Like, and I don't drink or smoke or anything at all. Like, I've never even fucking had a cigarette. So, just the idea of being with Lauren though and his fucking needy ass, like that's just like it just puts me like on edge. I think he's gone blackout drunk and woken up next to a woman, no memory of the night. I believe that too. There is one story that he said that I could kind of see happening, and people said, well, it's not really a good witness because it's Roy. But he's like, yeah, one time I was fucking this girl and Roy walked in, blackout drunk, and Roy's like, hey, where's the bread? And I'm just kind of like, I kind of like, you know what? Like, I would think Lauren is lying, but that sounds like some shit that Roy would do. That he'd walk into Lauren, like, trying to get a fucking hard on, and Mr. Penis just, like, flopping everywhere. And he's just like, hey, Lord, where's the bread? Like, I can see some shit. I can see some shit like that fucking happening. Like, that sounds like like Roy to a T. Shit, I'm just gonna drink some coffee, some iced coffee. That's something I have to highly disagree with Lauren on too. It's who the fuck drinks hot coffee? That shit's got to be iced, dude. Like, I don't know how the fuck he drinks that shit. That's like fucking medicine. I have empathy for Roy. His situation and family are a terrible situation to be born into. I don't condone those actions, but he hasn't done anything irredeemable like Lauren has. I absolutely agree with that. Like, yeah, Roy's done bad things, like the drunk driving. I totally agree with that. But I also see him as like a guy that's in the really that's bad, but like you said, it's not unforgivable. Like him, like Lauren trying to fuck a child, multiple occasions. I feel like Roy has a lot of demons. I feel like he's got a lot of I feel like he's got a lot of problems that he hasn't dealt with. And this is like a discussion I actually want to have with Nup North soon. is I heard some calls, and Winnie's like, fucking talking shit, and she's got like something against Roy, so she's just like she's just going in on Roy, um, and she's like, "Hey, Roy, how is it for you and Horny Lorny being raped by your brothers and your stepdad or some shit like that?" So she starts talking about him being molested, right? And Roy gets quiet. Um, he stops for a moment when she mentions it, and he tries to change the subject. Like, he's very uncomfortable with it. And my theory is, because I know Lawrence said that he's been touched by his brothers, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I think that might be the biggest evidence for it. But I almost think either it happened to both Lauren and Roy, or maybe it happened to Roy, and Lauren, being the fucking piece of shit he is, took Roy's trauma and co-opted it for himself to try to gather sympathy. And maybe that's why Roy is such an alcoholic, because he can't deal with that, type of fucking trauma. I mean, that's, people like, that's a really difficult thing to overcome. And I can see, this, especially as like, as a man or whatever, it's something really hard to fucking admit happening to you. So I don't know. I almost think maybe it really did happen, but maybe it happened to Roy, and Lauren took his story and tries to use it for sympathy. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, Lauren's like his go to is always cry about everything. Evil it's like, drink hot coffee, but I kind of just chug it. Iced coffee is superior by far. 100% agree. I can only drink coffee hot for some reason. I don't get it, man. I mean, if that's how you want it, that's cool. But I can't drink that shit. Even if I'm working in the freezer or something, I still have to have my drinks. I like my food hot and my drinks cold. Um, no bologna sandwiches or anything like fucking Lauren has. Yellow Reed, we know from his book Lauren will co-opt sympathy from his family as evidenced by the dedication section in that book. Factual. He did take his mother's trauma of having a stillborn child. It's like, I dedicate this to you. You're my brother. You should have been my brother. And it's fucking weird, because I would have had an older brother, but he was born stillborn. Um, so I understand, like, like miscarriages and stuff are bad, but like that's like my mom's tragedy. That's, something that's traumatic for my dad too, when he's still alive. I can't claim to know how it would even be. I mean, I sometimes I wonder what would it be like to have an older brother, because I have a younger sister, and I'm the eldest, but I almost wonder what would it be like if I had an older brother, um, you know, to like look up to, have like some guidance type thing. It's just kind of, but to think of like taking like your mother's tragedy and co-opt it for yourself is pretty fucking despicable. I will say. McNuggets. I personally believe Lauren. Uh, People like Lauren are often subjected to abuse. Plus, I rather believe a lie instead of invalidate a victim. Oh, how Lauren was mad that his Mother's Day was ruined. Okay, so I agree with you on that. Like, um, I I wouldn't go out to not believe a victim, unless there's proof, like evidence that they're lying. Um, and yes, most molesters were molested themselves. It doesn't excuse it. It's a horrible cycle, but it is something that is very true. So I could see that happening, that Lauren, someone touched him as a kid or whatever. I think he has some story that one of his mom's boyfriends. I think this was before Dale, because Dale came in when he's like 9 or something. He says something about one of his mom's boyfriends showing him gay porn or something when he's a kid and like touching him. So that could explain a lot of shit with him. It could. And some people are like, well, how come he didn't bring it up with Chris Hansen? He came up with the stupid Amanda James bullshit. And that's a good question, but also I think, well, that's something that's really hard to admit. Especially like if you're a man, it's hard to admit something like that. It's hard to admit that you're violated. And I could see that being a thing. It's really hard. It's really hard in Lauren's case because he lies so fucking much. I'll say, I need you to be honest. He lies so fucking much about absolutely everything. And so it's really hard to tell. But I think because of what Roy had said himself, um I do believe that something, well, actually it's not what Roy said, is his reaction that makes me think something really did happen. Because he did not want to talk about that at all. When he's all making fun of them, like I wasn't being raped and stuff, and he just kind of shut down for a minute, and then he changed the subject. And I was like, well, then I can really see why maybe he has drinking problems. Um, that's really it's a really difficult thing to even discuss. Really, it's a dark subject. It's one of the worst things. It's basically the worst thing you could ever do to somebody, and that's like going back to Lauren. Is fucking I was fucked up at the time. That shit just doesn't cut it. Um, you know, because he basically Lauren wants to think like, I was fucked up at the time, but he hasn't changed from there. He doesn't want to like admit to the person he was. He sees basically because Lauren sees people that are objectively worse than him. He thinks that he's okay and he's a decent person. That's not how it fucking works, dude. Like, you know, just because there's someone more fucked up, like, for example, if I'm thinking of TCAP, the top worst guys I think of is like Hamburger, Chuck Harding, Kevin Molesterbeck. Those ones are like top ones that come to my head when I think of like the worst ones, because Hamburger raped his own daughters. Chuck Harding was making child porn and doing human trafficking, and Molester Beck was, he molested his own relatives and stuff. He got caught for it like just before he was getting arrested. So yes, there's worse people than Lauren that were caught, and especially if we're talking about nowadays, like, it's kind of weird that, I mean, it's interesting, like, to analyze these people and stuff, but it's kind of like, unfortunately, it's a problem that's like just got completely out of hand. And I mean, if you look at fucking Hollywood, the government, it's just full of people like this that are just even worse. I mean, someone like fucking Ghislaine Maxwell and what's that fool's name? Jeffrey Epstein, like, they're like small fish in the big pond. Um, So it's terrible, but fucking Lauren's gonna think like, because someone like Jeff Epstein exists, that absolves him for what he did. And it's like, no, dude, doesn't fucking work that way. You're responsible for your own actions. Stop blaming, stop blaming your relatives for not making you a pot of mac and cheese, and saying that's the reason why you want to do this shit. I'm gonna take a second look at the comments. Elric says 99.99% of the time I would believe someone. I could totally understand believing a victim no matter what, but Lauren is different. Lauren has demonstrated a pattern that would. Evil Little McNuggets. Lauren has absolutely neglected growing up. I wouldn't surprise me at all if he's sexually abused. I think the shame and the homophobia that Lauren holds will keep him from speaking out. Yeah, I can see that. Evil Little McNuggets. That might be the source of his. I'm homophobic. That might be the source of it. Like maybe being touched by a man as a child or something. That might be why he's like so adamant about that, right? I mean, that actually used to be Chris Chan's excuse before. He tried to say that his principal tried touching him. I don't think there's any evidence of that actually happening, but he did claim that at one point. Um, let's see. Elric says, lead me to believe he'll lie about something like that. It's unfortunate, but that's corny as painting himself to. Absolutely true. The ghost of Tony Fama. Hey, how you doing, Fama? Um, I don't want to invalidate victims, but we could be 100% certain his account is accurate since we have seen that in every other event life that we could corroborate being distilled to suit him. I feel a hypocrite not believing him unless someone comes out saying that Lauren lying. Fair enough, like I said, totally get it, respect it. DMAC, yeah, DMAC, Thomas Coffin, those are good examples of people who are more fucked up. Um, and like DMAC, yeah, DMAC is like Chris Chan in a sense, like, because he does the most fucked up, vile shit and tries to use his disability as a crutch and as an excuse to get away with everything. He's like, I just want to shave her down there. Like, bruh, like, just, it doesn't fucking matter what, like, it's just disgusting. Like, that guy's just a real asshole, man. He should have just been watching his WWE or playing Halo 3 on that fucking Mountain Dew Xbox he won, but instead he had to be a fucking creep. But yeah, I totally agree with what you guys are saying. And like Ghost of Tony Fama said, I have to agree with that because we have this Lauren filter. Everything he says, like you might get maybe like 10% truth. He just because you have to go through so much bullshit to find out what is the source of the truth. And Fama, I'm going back to you because he likes to blame Fama for a lot of things, but like when he talks about MySpace Molly and stuff like that, because he said it before, like that Tony told him, hey, this girl's too young for you, like you should probably stop talking to her. Wait till she's older, if anything. You go find someone else, right? Tony had told him that, according to Lauren. But then Lauren says that Tony went with them to meet MySpace Molly at the county fair. And I'm kind of like, well, I'm not sure if Tony even went with them, for one. Is he just saying that to try to make it seem like he wasn't going to do anything or whatever? Or did Tony actually go with them to make sure that, like, Lauren didn't try to pull Kayla? I don't know. Because some people are kind of like, oh, I think, Tony would enable him. I don't think so. And that's something I was actually listening to another call that they're talking about Tony's daughter. And Lauren, I think Amber was saying that Tony's daughter was trying to troll Lauren or something. He's like, I can't believe it. I hear I grew up basically with her and stuff like that. And she basically got Lauren to admit that Lauren liked her at one point and stuff. And I'm kind of thinking like, well, maybe that's why Tony wasn't like too fond, like, or Wendy wasn't too fond of him, because he's simping for their daughter, being a known child molester, or at least wannabe child molester. So it's just like, yeah, it's just very unfortunate. And thanks, Ghost to Tony Pharma. I'm glad you like the comics. I keep trying to make new ones. I don't know if you noticed, Ghost of Tony Fama, but you're actually featured on the box art of the Lauren action figure, which I think we have about 9 left. If anyone's interested in Lauren action figure, but yeah, you're floating a floating spirit next to Saint Roy and Mama Gwen. So you guys, you made it to the packaging art of the Lauren action figure. So I thought I might appreciate that. And Errol Reek says Lauren has quite the rogues gallery. Tony, the U.S. government, Amanda James, Chris Hansen, NBC reality itself. Yeah, it's very true. I love how he always has to bring up Amanda James for everything. It's like that damn Amanda James. He always brings up Amanda James, and it's like, and his whole stupid thing is, "Well, she told me her daughter was her niece." It's like, who the fuck cares? Why would that be? Why would that be relevant, dude? Why the fuck would that be relevant? Except for the fact that Lauren is a known fucking groomer. He wanted to, he's creeping on his own nieces. Why did he want to creep on Amanda James' niece? Because that's the only thing I could fucking think of that he's so damn fixated. Of all the shit, apparently she ripped him off for years, took him for money. He had to buy Dale Earnhardt merchandise, right? So she took him for all this shit, and the thing that he gets from it is she lied about her daughter being her niece. Like, what? I don't fucking get it, dude. Like, that's the only thing that could come to my mind is that he's gonna be a fucking creep to her supposed niece. And I guess maybe her being her biological daughter might make things a little bit different for him. I don't fucking know. We are talking about fucking Lauren here. And it's just like, really, I just don't fucking get it. I don't know why how he thought that was a good excuse to tell Chris Hansen. Um, I'm guessing if I had to like try to break it down, he's trying to tell Chris Hansen, well, I've been basically humiliated, and I've been played a fool and stuff on the internet for all these years. So, you know, this is what happened to me. I've been catfished all this time. So he kind of like tries to use that like to make himself seem a victim and make it seem like he wasn't really doing something all that bad or something. Like that's kind of like what comes to my mind. But Lauren can't articulate anything for shit. So it's like when he says, bring my PO officer in front of my mom, and my mom will give him a mouthful. It's like bruh, I'm pretty sure that I think he's trying to say earful. Like, Lauren, when you say mouthful, it sounds like your mom's gonna give your PO officer some sloppy toppy, some guac guac, just like whack whack, fucking slurp them down and shit. Uh, actually, that's a comic I need to redraw. I had done like a little sketch before that he's like screaming on his fucking headset. He's like, "Put my mom in front of my parole officer. She'll give a mouthful." And then like his mom, like, I don't know what she fucking looks like, so I just drew her from the back with like some big ass booty cheeks clapping everywhere, and then like her head being held down by the PO officer. You just hear like slopping sounds, and Lauren's like, "Stop it, mom! Get his quack out of your mouth!" And the PO officer's just like, I'm gonna have to visit your mother a lot more often, horny Lorny. Time to put you back in jail. It's time to be incarcerated. I just went on a really stupid tangent there, but yeah. Ilrig says in decoy calls when people ask Lauren for clarification, he doesn't clarify. He just says it again. He has no idea how to share his feelings effectively. Yeah, you're right. I have to agree with that. And he comes up with the most stupid fucking excuses too. Like, he does not think this shit through at all, man. It's like he's talking about I think I'll doodle Winnie for us. Yeah, let's get a Winnie up in here. Um, and he talks about fucking how he ended up in the Sting. He tells Debbie, "I just couldn't say no. I just couldn't say no." Like, that's not fucking. That doesn't mean anything. You couldn't tell no to a fucking baby, basically, because that's what it sounded like he's talking to. It sounded like he's talking to a damn toddler. Um, he couldn't say no. That's his fucking excuse. You didn't give me my mac and cheese, or my double H, and my meatballs. It's like, okay, well, you fucking said it's a Christmas present. If you want to get me a Christmas present, it doesn't mean they have to give you one, Lauren. Um, there's so much shit to that. Always like trying to like not take any sort of fucking responsibility. Or like one of the things he does in the calls that really pisses me off is when he talks about Debbie. I mean, not Debbie, Betty. He's like, well, she's gotten a good laugh at me. So, you know what? I consider her paid in full. Like, no, fuck you, dude. You owe her $30,000 plus fucking interest. And then he'll say some shit like, I sent her $120 5 years ago. And acts like that fucking matters. It's like, maybe like, I don't know, send her like $150 a week. You say you're making like $1,000 a week on your fucking job. So if you send her at least, $150 a week, you'd be sending her about $600 a month, and you can actually get her paid off in a few years. But fucking Lauren's not going to do that shit. That would require him doing something. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, let's get some stubble up on Winnie. It's me, Winnie. I don't know if you guys heard the song that Weird Visions put up of the Michael Jackson cover that they did Beat It with Lauren and Winnie. And Dan, that shit is fucking classic. I love it so much. Yeah, so there's that. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of like rambling here. I just thinking about all the stupid shit Lauren's done. And it's hilarious, like, don't get me wrong, but some of it gets really irritating just because he doesn't accept any form of responsibility at all. And he's always like trying to like have a pity party. It's like, I'm really fascinated with Taken Abroad. Like, actually, that's one of the big projects I'm working on. Is I'm trying to do an illustrated version of Taken Abroad. It's taking me a while just because like trying to piece together that story is a fucking chore. Like, it's so abstract. It's just really weird. Like, it's like it's kind of like it's taking over my head in a way, because it's so weird. Like, I'm just spending so much time trying to figure out what I'm doing, like what I'm like picturing here, and trying to put it together is just kind of like, fuck. You know what? I'm actually gonna pull up I'll pull up some of the comics here, so there'll be something, I guess, something to look at. Oh, you know what? How about this? Here's the Lauren action figure packaging art for anyone who's wondering. So I mentioned it to Tony Pharma. So like right here, you got Pharma, the ghost of Tony Pharma. You have Saint Roy, Mama Gwen. You have Dale, Derek, the goddamn fucking doctor. You got Dan, being a Chad. There's Kayla. I couldn't decide which version. I usually draw the bucktooth one, that like with the big ass pointy head, but I kind of went with this one for a change of pace. Got Ramona, Winnie. This fucking Winnie, like, ready to sexually assault Dan. There's Debbie, and we have a Satan Chris Hansen popping up the corner right there with the sacred mac and cheese and the holy lonography. My boy Chris Hansen here is the antagonist in the story, because he put fucking Lauren in incarcerated. Elric says, how much Dale Earnhardt memorabilia does 30K come out? I don't fucking know, because like, who the hell watches NASCAR? I mean, I get that he's considered like a legend in the sport, but it's also like who the fuck watches NASCAR? It's not like I would watch baseball or like for me, I like basketball, so it's not like you're selling like some Michael Jordan shit or something like that. Um, so there's that to go with, and yes, Elric, I am obsessed with fucking taking a bra. Like, um, I've listened to the Andrew Burkett streams that well, basically Tiffany Lockhart reads the whole story, but like is really fucking good. I love their analysis. I love how they pick apart like everything he says. I listened to the Nick Bagler ones with Wine Lover. Those are really good. I listened to Large Father Trons. I like like that shit I'll put on and fall asleep to. Like um either that or I like put on like some bass shaman or I'll put on like some like Bloodborne lore or some shit. Like I'll fall asleep to that shit. Um so there's that so let me see. I'll pull up another comic um for something to look at. Well, actually, I'll show you guys some of the action figure designs we have cooking up. So after Lorne, Phil Bar and I were working on a Cyrax figure, the son of Lorne. So there's Cyrax in all his glory. He's got the 43 on his hoodie because they basically labeled him a mental nutcase. And he'll probably come with a stylus and a fidget spinner. I'm not sure if you guys are really versed in the Cyrax lore, but for whatever fucking reason, Cyrax likes to torture his own dick and ass. Apparently, he shoves, and I could not fucking look this up. It's on the Kiwi Farms if you want to look it up. I could not fucking do it. Anything like that is just like too traumatic for me to really even think about. But fucking Cyrax shoved a pen in his ass, had like the shit on it, slurped it off, and then shoved it in his dick. He shoved it in his own pee hole. The pee hole, as fucking Lauren would say, his urethra. And he's got an affected penis from doing that. He's covered in fucking bed bug bites all over him, and it's just he's just got so much goblin energy. Like, look at him. He's got he's like the goblin Lorne. It is so fucking it's just very fascinating. I love how every time he talks, he's like some WWE promo. It's like Marty, you fuck with my friends. You fuck with my family. Now I'm coming for you. And then I guess yesterday Marty pulled up to his house and he's looking to fight Cyrax, but Cyrax is like hiding up in the attic and made his grandma and her boyfriend come out and tell Marty to leave the property. And he went to call the cops on them. So that was pretty fucking fun. Ilrig says, I wish Lauren would have made it a series. Book 1 could have been The Adventures of Aaron Armstrong, Chapter 1, Taken Abroad. The adventures taken below, a dead Aaron must navigate hell similar to Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. In Chapter 3, Aaron now returned from depths of hell, wreaking havoc on his former loved ones and acting. That would be really fucking good. Like, honestly, that would be pretty fucking good, dude. One of the things I'm trying to think, one of the things I'm kind of doing with my drawn out version is I'm doing it basically word for word how Lauren has it, but I'm also like trying to put a little bit of humor into it and kind of like add more to it just because it's so vague and abstract. There's just a lot of things there's a lot of details that just go missing. Like He talks about his fucking pot pie and his mashed potatoes with ham cubes in it, which sounds absolutely fucking disgusting. But he talks about that. it's such it's such extravagant detail, but you don't even know what Aaron looks like. Like, there's not even a description of the main character. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We literally never get a description of the main character. Like, you don't know what anyone looks like. So, like in the first, the first page, I had Lauren. Well, not Lauren, but Aaron's face is like obscured in shadow the whole time. You see him talk to Derek and stuff, and then by the second page, like where he meets like the recruiter, you finally see his face shown, and it's like high school lore. I just love. You know what I love, Il Rig about that book is it's like 10 chapters of everyone babying the fuck out of Aaron, right? Everyone's letting him sleep in. They make him breakfast, like his mom and his wife. They're always making him breakfast, letting him sleep in late. Um, it's like some fucking Hallmark movie shit. And then out of nowhere, it just takes such a dark, fucking twisted turn. Um, he's just starts killing people randomly, but he never ever meant to do it, right? He never meant to do it. Um, so it's like he never meant to do it, but it's just like I don't know, man. I honestly I think 'cause I heard something that his inmates like his cellmates helped him write the book because he kept reading it. So I almost think like the first 10 chapters is purely Lorne, and then like his fucking cellmates come up like, "Hey, Lorne, what if Aaron? What if he just like comes up to this motherfucker and he takes a knife to his throat and just fucking guts him like a pig and shit like that? Like, hey, what if he sees this fat guy and he runs him off the road? And he takes a tire iron to his fucking head. And he just bashes his fucking brains in and shit like that. They fucking give him like the big like cholo eyes just like piercing into your soul. And it's like, what if he sees this one bitch and he fucking strangles the shit out of her and watches her last breath leave her eyes and stuff like that. Like, that's what I fucking imagine is like Lawrence just like kind of cowering in the corner, like, okay, I'll put that in the book. Like all the details came from them. Um, you know what, Ilrig, that would be pretty interesting, but there wouldn't be much to go on because Derek pops up in the high school, and then he peels a bunch of potatoes with Aaron. And then after that, he sees them get married, and that's kind of it. So would it be like, he sees them go to the military, and like, he's just kind of like living his life, working a dead end job or whatever, as Aaron describes it. And then one day he watches the news, and he sees a bunch of people are missing. He's just kind of like, huh, that's kind of weird. And then at the end, like he sees that Aaron's dead, and then he finds out that he's a serial killer. And he goes to the funerals. Like that'd be kind of fascinating. So right here is the design I have for the Wings of Redemption action figure. Um, so he's gonna come. Is I decided that his accessory will be a cup of Wendy's chili. Oh, Ghost of Tony Farmer. I gotta get back to work. Looking forward to your stream again. Yeah, thanks, man. That's grateful for that, and it's reassuring because this is my first stream. Um, I did one up north that we did a reaction to Jeff Stacy being arrested, so that's technically my first one, but he hasn't released it yet. So that might be something to look to when he posts it. I'm wondering how that came out. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully I'm not too cringing it. But yeah, thanks, Tony. Have a good day, man. Yeah, so fucking Wings here is gonna have the Wendy's chili. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, let me see. What's the next figure? Here we go. So here's the fucking EDP figure. Let's get the color back on. So he's gonna come with a cupcake and the Chipotle burrito because we got thick chocolate lawn here. I mean, EDP like must be like a disciple of Lauren, dude. Like he went after a 13-year-old girl. He's got the fucking same hairline. He's got the same hair as Lauren does. Like Lauren's got a perfect half head of hair. And on the back of his head, he's got that like bald spot that looks like a ball sack, and he's got that little tuft of hair in the front of his head. So if you look at his head from a top-down perspective, like I have drawing him, his hair actually makes a fucking dick on his head. He literally missed the penis is on his mind. Like, you can't make this shit up. Lord's literally got dick hair, dude. Like, that's what his hair looks like. Ilrig, Derek is always there just in the background. Derek's actually in the army as well, stationed nearby when the athletically built suicide bomber explodes. That would be fantastic. Fucking Alpha Male Derek, as fucking Boron would say. While he's fapping off to Base Shaman in his genie clothes. I can see that shit happening. Yeah, dude, how did fucking Boron become basically Diet Lauren? The guy made try to make a career making fun of Lauren. Just wind up being like a fucking Walmart great value version of him. Actually, I got a comic about that I could pull up in a minute. Here's the King Cobra figure. So we got a lot planned for him right here. Guy's gonna give him a wand, a mixed drink. He's gonna have a sushi burger. You gotta make sure the burger is on Texas toast, mind you. Like he's gotta have the Texas. Hey, what's up, Tiamat? How you doing? You gonna be in Shaman stream later today? Yeah, this is Cobes. You know, he's right here for he's gonna be one of the figures we're working on next. I was talking with Phil. He said he's probably gonna have a Cyrax ready for next week, and we're probably gonna do them in like batches of 5 because we sold a few Laurens, but he's taking a while to sell, so we're probably just gonna do like smaller batches. Because each one of these are handcrafted, you know. Like his wands, they're handcrafted. But he's got the tactical soap here too. He's got the little wizard cap, and he's got a mixed beer. So, not sure if I'll make Shaman stream later, but good to see you running it here. Thanks, Tiamat. This is my first live stream. I thought I'd try it out. Just, you know, kind of just, you know, just have like a laid back environment. Just kind of discuss lolcows and shit with the people. This really has no structure. It's just kind of like a free form thing. But I'm hoping to get some guests on here. I have a friend. She's a really big Christorian, and I've gotten her into checking out Lauren, and she got me checking out this guy named Perry Caravello, who's pretty fucking funny too. But I've told her, like, you know, check out my boy Joseph Strickland, which actually I got my boy Joseph Strickland right here, dude. I am happy to say I have the only Joseph Strickland action figure currently. He's got a burger. He's got a blunt. He's ready for the barbecue. Go outside, have a barbecue, have cold drinks, and a barbecue. Listen to 50 Cent and have a barbecue. Smoke some dope and have a barbecue. Like, he's fucking ready, dude. You know, he's repping. Look at that. Look at that bandana. We got Gangsta Bobby Hill here, repping Grove Street. You know, he's with CJ. He's with Sweet. He's with them Bustas, Ryda, and Big Smoke. You know, he got the Big Titty Yoshi, the Dixie and Candy Kong. Like, you know, Joe's got the girls, dude. I mean, look, he's got the girls. uh yeah, I don't know why I wanted a Joseph Strickland tangent there. Joe's my favorite lolcow, so I'm happy to have the only Joe figure currently. But hopefully Joe will be one of the next figures we got going. But as of right now, I have the only Joe. Uh, yeah, he's just my favorite. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up here a bit. Oh, um, may I get you guys' opinion on this one? So this is the concept I have for Darkside Phil. So I would think that Darkside Phil should come with a. He's gonna come with Jasper for sure, but I'm not really sure what other accessories will work for him. Um, I my DSP lore is a little bit limited. I know he's most famous for whacking it on camera. Uh, he's most famous for whacking it on camera. I know that he sucks at video games, and he's like a fucking e-girl, always begging for money. Like, I need donations, guys. Where's my donations and stuff? And if I remember right, Jasper was like he need like $100,000 or something in donations, um, or something. He's like, I have this big reveal, and he's like, oh, here's my cat Jasper. Like, fucking hell. Oh, but you know what? He did waste like what, like $500,000 on that WWE like phone game. So I don't know. Maybe we could have something WWE related. He likes some wrestling DVDs. Um, which I'm in talks. TMI. I'm in talks with Phil to do more TCAP characters. They'll probably be like made to order, but the ones I'm gonna design from the jump is gonna be my boy Jim Rouch, uh, DMAC, Jeff Stacy, Palumbo. Like those are the ones I want to do first. I was thinking Palumbo will have like a mini fridge and some beer for the refrigerator. DMAC can have his razor cane and he'll have like a little razor in his hand. I don't know what Jeff Stacy would have. Maybe like a sub sandwich or something. Uh, Jim Roush, man. R.I.P. Jim Roush. I I know he's a goon and whatever, but he's so fucking funny. I got so much entertainment from his interrogation video. I love how he acts like everyone's his best friend. He talks about the swingers club, and he's got 15 girls waiting on him at the swingers club. And with that leather jacket, maybe he did, dude. Maybe he did have 15 girls waiting on him at the swingers club. Just everything about him was so great. And I think what I like about Jim Roush even more is he reminds me of Wilford Brimley. I love Wilford Brimley for whatever reason. I guess Wilford Brimley kind of reminds me of my grandpa in a sense. And I just see him be like diabetes and stuff like that. So I used to imagine like, what if my grandpa would hang out with Wilford Brimley and we'd be fucking they'd be like eating like oatmeal at the fucking Denny's or some shit. I don't know. I could see that being a thing. Like, so he just reminds me of like evil Wilford Brimley. So I guess I have a special spot for Jim Roush in my heart because he's fucking hilarious and he reminds me of Wilford Brimley. Um, here's a Joe comic for you. Yeah. So he's basically explaining why he's Diet Lauren. You know, fucking. You see, I'm balder than Lauren. I have a pointier head than Lauren. I'm less funny than Lauren. Sexually harass more women than Lauren. Lauren faps to imaginary kids. I fap to actual kids. This is the Sigma Alpha Male grind set. Yaha! I can totally see the diabetes Jim Roush crossover. Can't wait. Yes, I maybe maybe that'd be the thing, is to make a comic of Jim Roush just fucking talking about diabetes and Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats was the right thing to do. Oh man, dude, we lost. You know, it's sad because we lost Wilford Brimley and Jim Roush within a year of each other. I think Wilford was like 92 or something like that. So we lost good Wilford and bad Wilford in the same year, in like a year's worth of time. It's just not right. So here we got Dan Bandicoot, and he's with Debbie, and he's taking Debbie away from fucking the Dr. Mr. Penis. Fucking Lauren here. You wear a sweater with a D on it. A D for Dan. But you can't wear a sweater with an L on it. An L for lawn. Oh shit. Fucking lawn. Yeah, let me see. I'm looking through this shit. Oh, here's the original concept for the Lorne figure. Um, Before we settled on the pot pie, I actually know the mac and cheese and the cap. There's the pot pie was on the table. We had deviled eggs, meatballs, coffee, Bluetooth headset. I almost thought about Lamondre. He could have maybe came with a fucking, Lamondre dildo. These are the options on the table. So yeah, I'm really satisfied with how it came out because he's got the cigarette, he's got the Boston cap, he's got the mac and cheese. Like, you can make the figure take a seat and deny him his mac and cheese. Like, it's fucking surreal to me. I never thought I'd actually be able to do that. I'm waiting on my figure to come in the mail. So I had to make sure one was set aside for me because I already got Chris Chan, I got Joseph Strickland. I'm now gonna have Lauren. Like, I just want like a Justin RPG and like Cyrax and Elliot Roger or something. Like, I just want the boys. I just want the boys back in town. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. If I can pull something up. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna say that one of the figures that I want to do for TCAP would be a John Kennelly. And John Kennelly will be wearing just his socks and his chain. And on his crotch, he's gonna have a McDonald's bag. So that would be the John Kennelly action figure. Um, so if anyone's interested, I just came to get something to eat. Like, that's what I'm waiting for. Is for him to get something to eat. Yeah, he just came to get something to eat. Oh, here's the Wings box art too, if you're wondering. So, we got different versions of Wings. You got his like little logo there. We got him getting the weight loss surgery. He's got the sacred Wendy's chili. And there's his wife talking about his thick six. Well, I mean, at least she's supposed to talk about it. She never did. He kept saying, "Hey, validate me here. They're talking about my dick in the chat. Let them know I have a thick six." And she just kept kind of ignoring the question and making it seem like his dick was smaller than 6 inches. He's like, I got a thick six. It might not be that long, but it's as wide as this long. So it's got to count for something, right? Fucking Wings. His wife didn't stand up for the thick six. Just saying, it's just not right. It's just not right. And here's the Cyrax packaging art. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with that one. We got Music Biz Marty here with his cigar. We have Kate from Masshole Report, just kind of like laughing at him. We got various different expressions of the racks. And we got fucking Goblin Racks just emerging from the shadows. Oh, Tima, I think Smelly would be flattered by that depiction. Can can you clarify who that is, please? I'm not sure if I'm versed enough in the lore. If any of you guys are in the COD Discord, this is an emoji we have actually. It's Dickhead Joran going yeah. So, when you're simping for Kelp Pill or Tiffany Lockhart or something, you can send a dickhead Lauren Jordan fap into the genies. Here's Winnie. You got Winnie. Got her $5 wig. Point of view: your dad's penis while he's asleep, about to be sexually assaulted by Winnie. So that's something to look forward to. Here's Rotor. Rotor comes with her baby bottle of Red Bull that she gave her baby. I think is like, wasn't her baby supposed to be like fucking, what is it? What do they call that? Premature? She like a premature baby. I mean, she's like only 18 when she had it. But yeah, this is Lauren's like, I'm your daddy now. I'm your father. And then like 2 minutes later wanted to have sex with her. Very good job, Lauren. Here's Ramona and the goddamn doctor. This is another emoji we have. So, when you want to cheat on Lauren, you send them a Ramona. That's how it goes. And let me see what I got here, if I can find anything else. Oh, your favorite is Ramona. I like Ramona a lot too. I don't know why people shit on Ramona so much. You know, she's very calm and collected. I like her as a character. Sometimes she's a bit too nice with Lauren, but she really got under his skin by really not doing anything. Like, this is as nice as anyone should have been. Yeah, she is a lot more subtle with it. I like how it's like Ramona goes around looking, using the sex offender registry, using the sex offender registry as a dating service. Yes, I agree, Tiamat. So if I have to go with my favorite like codfishes, I'm gonna go with Tiffany. So Debbie, I'm gonna go with Debbie and Ramona are my top codfishes. Winnie could be funny sometimes, but her voice is so grating and annoying. And the fact that it's just like constant fucking phone sex, like I really cringe at the phone sex parts. Arc Time Silva. All right, man. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so speaking of shotguns too, we got Lamondre here with Elmer Elmer Lawn. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting vaginas. Got wanted pushy season. And see, there's the clits and the pee hole. And what looks like an onion. Because vaginas look like onions. There's that. Yeah, I never posted this one, but here's Dan Allen. I don't know why. I think someone said his name was like, I think someone said his name sounding like Van Halen, and I got that stuck in my head. So every time I hear Dan Allen, I think Van Halen, even though I know it's not Van Halen. So I just imagine him fucking dressing up in like a glam jumper and like singing Boomer Rock. Like, that's just in my head. Like, he's just curious. So curious. I don't know if any of you guys saw this before, but RIP John Madden, he's not with us anymore. So EA Sports is going to actually make a new gaming franchise called Dupi NFL. And this one's the Steelers and the Ravens. And we got Lover Man Genius. It's kind of hard to tell because I didn't really put much time in the. I didn't put any detail on the faces or anything, but we got Lover Man Genius here, and we got Lon, number 87, chasing after him in the Thursday night football game. Let's see. Yeah, there's Penis Wise. Penis Wise, the molester clown. Missed the penis. Let's see. Oh, this is one of my favorite holiday pictures I made. We got Donnie Morrison and Michael Willits as Santa and an elf. They're making cookies. It's just something real wholesome here. They make them by the dozen when the family from the up north come around. So he makes about 100 dozen every time. So that's a good thing, right? You got D-Max Japanese Steakhouse. you know, and you got the signature shaved steak. You just want to be shaved down there. And you got a new item, the Cornville roll. you take a pot pie crust with a can of peas and some vegan bologna, and you got yourself a Cornville roll. Cool. Oh, here's a Chris Chan picture. I didn't really get to use it earlier, but for whatever reason, Chris Chan has something against Sally Acorn. He's really into Amy Rose, who's supposed to be like a literal child, and he like ships Sonic with Amy. When Amy simps for Sonic, but Sonic sees her as like an annoying little sister, and Sonic's responsible enough to not go after fucking pull a Lorne. But yeah, you got Sally here. Sonic was like, "Wow, a pickle-free girl. I hate pickles." And you got Rose True right here. She got the pickle. It's like, yeah, you mean they didn't like mine all this time, Rosebud? She's got the, Chris Chan's favorite right there. And he's like, "This is not true and honest. Now bend over." Chris Chan's ready to get into you. Okay, Tiamat. Yeah, okay. It's cool that you stopped by. Have a good one. It's nice having you in the chat. I'll see you on Starship Lockjaw pretty soon. I think I'm about to end the stream. So yeah, it was a lot of rambling nonsense, but it was kind of a lot of fun just chatting with you guys. So have a good one.